we want to talk about, I'm still on that topic of the mind, okay? And it was interesting for me. I had to go back and trying to think about things. A strange thing is here when I think it's 4th of November, they do we have the red, uh, poppy that everybody's sort of had the red poppy, and they talk about what happened in the Second World War, how they did it, and all that stuff. And you see young people here in the UK where I am. You see young people coming out and it's being so proud of what their forefathers fought in this war and did all that and did all that and all that. And we should do same. We seem to think when we were independence, that's when our lives started and everything that was happening that's happening now, the leaders we have, who, by the way, I need to remind you, are also affected. Everything I'm saying affects the leaders as well, the way they think. So, because you have to know that there was a setup of an oppressor and the oppressed. So, if we didn't change the way we thought, that dynamic is still there. So, some will jump and take the place of the oppressor, and then the ones who stay will just stay oppressed. So, whichever way, if you don't move from where you are, if you don't change the way you think, you're going to fit into that dynamic that was left. And it's still in our brain. We believe that. And we complain and say, okay, we're oppressed on everything. Same way, the way we complain about leaders, it's the same way that was happening before. So it's business as usual, if you like. Things are just happening. We haven't changed. So I on the mind, as I said, I wanted to talk about the fact that I was thinking about my brain, search into something deep inside ourselves and find out who we really, really are. We've been chasing these white things, wanting to be like them, to be accepted by them for long enough. So, as I said, I realized that that fear, it might disguise itself as as reverence or respect or no, it is fear. And when we raise our children here in Europe, they'll go to school with all the white people, fine, but usually there's one day somebody's going to say something that will trigger whatever it is in them that's fearful. Somebody will say something to put them back, make them realize that, look, we're not one of us. So pretense can only last for so long, but it's not going to make us belong. It's a long journey to go back. But we have to. The easiest thing in life is to be yourself. But most people don't know who that is anymore. The me that I thought was me for many years, for 30 years, is not me. So I have to go back and read about my history, read about my people, people will tell you, no, that's long. No, it will redirect you. The African American young people now, they say Black History Month. People, oh, it's gone. And there are people who stand there and say, no, it has to be taught in class. We need to know. We need to know. If you don't know where you came from, you can never know where you're going. And if you're going anywhere, where you're going, you're gonna realize when you're too far. That's the wrong direction. So I'm just saying this now that we have to go back to our roots, wherever you're living. We have to, if a French person came into the UK and they're working, they will not pretend to be English. They're going to be French, and everybody's going to respect them for being French. And if they're speaking English, they speak it in that French accent. People will say, oh, it's sexy, it's cute. It's about time we did the same. It's about time we walked into a room and they say, there is an African who's coming. And respect who we are and accept who we are. We can no longer do what happened before, where we were made to sign agreements in a language that we don't understand. So that fear has to go. I was talking actually in this book. It's funny. I have a story about how we Africans fear dogs and how that was instilled in us. Because if somebody knows, people will say, it's a long time ago. No, it's not. In Salt Lake recently, a man was mauled by a dog that had been sent by the police. No, dogs are men's best friends, yes, but for a long time they were white men's best friend, and they ate us. Soweto riots, it's an image I can never forget in my head. I saw people being eaten by dogs. And if any child has seen that, they'll be scared. And if you're scared of a dog, you're going to have to cancel yourself for you not to be scared of a dog, so that your children can be friendly to dogs. So there's a whole lot of, a catalog of things that happen to us that we have to, not for us to hate anybody, but to actually face the reality that this happened to us. And if it did, how do we get out of it? You don't get out of something that you are trying to avoid and try to lie to yourself that never happened. I believe that when we get to that place, we will be able to love ourselves and each other. The rest of the book has a lot of things about the good African attributes that were sold to us, twisted and sold to us wrongly. I'm going to go through most of them, and you're going to see yourself in a better light than you did before. That is the aim. My aim is for you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love being African. And that is what I aspire to myself. I'm not there yet, but I am aspiring to become a full African who loves every minute of being African on this planet. So let's look at ourselves in a different light, and let's know the things that we inherited, whether in our genes or behaviors, that were actually meant to align to colonial rule. And let's separate them and see which is who we really are. With that, I say we'll just chat again later on, guys. I'm hoping to do a Instagram live sometime, maybe at the end of, in a month or so, I'll let you know, so that we can interact and then you can ask questions. I don't promise that I will answer all your questions, but I will definitely will try, because it's a topic I'm very passionate about and I'm willing to go into it, all the way, as long as it's nothing to do with political affiliation or anything like that. I'm just talking Africans here, and I'm specifically talking Southern Africa. I haven't touched much, even though in the book I've written about South Africa and Mandela and all that stuff. But I'm just really focusing on Zimbabwe for now. But there's a lot of other things that I said. I've spoken about, Nigeria at some point. And my next book, obviously, I have two books now running, and one of them touches on the queens of Africa. So for now, it's bye and take care of yourself. Thank you.